Hello, wrestling fans! This is Sean's View Entertainment, the most dedicated and prolific WWE news source on the web. Subscribe now for hourly WWE breaking news, hard-hitting rumors, and more. And don't forget to smash that bell for notifications, comment, and share. Are you a true wrestling fanatic? Become a channel member right now to show your support and send us super thanks in the comment section today.
You want to talk about receiving the shaft. You want to talk about being on the wrong end of the system. That is exactly what we got. Now, we knew the WWE was going to swerve us. Oh, yeah, LA Knight's going to make it to the finals because a lot of you thought Jey Uso was going to make it to the finals and we're going to get Jey Uso Gunther for the millionth time, right? But then the WWE pulled the fast one in. Oh, it's LA Knight. Oh, yeah, LA Knight. He's going to be in the main event. He's going to be in the closing match. He's going to face Gunther. He's going to go all the way. He's going to be the underdog. He's going to be the ultimate underdog. LA Knight's going to win this thing. It's going to be LA Knight and John Cena because Gunther winning, it doesn't make any sense. Gunther winning does not make any sense because Gunther's already been at the top of the mountain. He's already been at WrestleMania. He's already been the world champion. He's already been in the last two Royal Rumbles as the final two opponents. Man, I'll tell you, SmackDown, we didn't just watch a wrestling match. We watched a corporate execution, viewers. Remember to click the bell, subscribe, turn on all notifications, become a channel member today. Before I go huge into this and big into this, what was your review? What was your review of SmackDown tonight? And are you happy with the results? Are you mad? Are you bitter? Are you sad? Now, I know the WWE is supposed to make us feel emotion, but this is the wrong emotion on every single level. What do you think was the match of the night, the moment of the night, the angle of the night, the predicament of the night, the wrestler of the night, the champion of the night? Now, I'll admit, SmackDown started off pretty hot. It started off pretty good with Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre backstage. And with John Cena's final opponent being revealed and Solo Sikoa mentions Bray Wyatt, you can only imagine when we got to the main event, when Gunther started working over the neck. You know, I mean, at least it wasn't a full burial because, you know, LA Knight did get some offense in. LA Knight did get in some maneuvers. It did look at some moments, it did look like LA Knight was going to get the win, get the victory. But as always, LA Knight is so close, but yet so far away. But tonight, we didn't just watch a wrestling match, viewers. We watched a corporate execution. We watched the WWE Machine take the most organic, the most undeniable fan-made superstar of the last decade and force him to quit. Now, listen, it would have been one thing if, you know, LA Knight would have lost by, you know, passing out, being pinned for the 1, 2, 3. But the WWE, what did they have to do? The WWE had to have him tap out because they wanted LA Knight to tap out because now they want us to make us think that John Cena is going to lose. Now, I'm convinced that John Cena is going to lose. But by God, if they have Gunther make John Cena tap out, if they have John Cena say the words, "I quit," if they have John Cena do that and lose in that way, just like LA Knight lost tonight, there's a wrong way to do things and there is a right way to do things. And the fact that the WWE isn't going to go all the way and push LA Knight, and the fact that a report went out just a couple days ago that LA Knight will probably never be the World Heavyweight Champion, and now we got this rumor following SmackDown, this massive rumor following the blue brand of WWE SmackDown. Now, we were promised the finals, the last time is now tournament, a chance to punch a ticket to face John Cena in his final match ever. And what did we get? Did we get the Megastar cementing his legacy? Did we get the dream match we have been begging for? No. Again, I said it too. I said it weeks ago. It's got to be LA Knight versus John Cena because LA Knight has the most to gain. LA Knight needs this win. He has to win this match. But again, good old predictable WWE. Like I said, the only thing that was unpredictable about the tournament was that, oh yeah, they made LA Knight go all the way. So I was wrong about that because, again, we all were under the assumption that it was going to be Jey Uso. But the WWE builds this up. The WWE makes it look like we have a shred of hope, a little bit of a chance that LA Knight might walk out of this thing and it's going to be LA Knight John Cena. We got LA Knight, the defiant, the rebellious, trash-talking hero of the people, tapping his hand on the canvas, submitting and giving up. That's how you're going to make the man lose. Today, we are going to have a very uncomfortable conversation, viewers. We need to talk about why WWE just made the biggest booking mistake of the Triple H era. We need to talk about why Gunther didn't need the win, and he... and we need to question... We need to ask the question that scares me the most. Was last night the end of LA Knight as a main event player and getting so close to being and cementing his legacy as the most legitimate and the most credible? Buckle up, because let me tell you, and let me talk to you about a burial. Remember to click the bell, subscribe, turn on all notifications, become a channel member today, and hype up this video. Let's start with the finish itself, because the wrestling Twitter defenders are already out there saying, oh, it's no shame to lose to Gunther. He's the ring general. He's tapped out many stars before. People have passed out to him. People have knocked out to him in that chokehold, that sleeper hold. Stop it, because context absolutely matters, viewers. If LA Knight passes out in a pool of blood, fine. That's like Stone Cold Steve Austin rub from WrestleMania in the submission match with Bret the Hitman Hart. That protects him. But if LA Knight gets caught up in a roll-up after a 20-minute match, exactly. If LA Knight even gets caught up in a roll-up after a 20-minute match, fine. Or even hold the tights, that protects him. But to have LA Knight, a character built entirely on swagger and resilience, frantically tapping out, that is poison. Absolute poison. In the language of professional wrestling, a tap out is a character assassination for a top babyface. Listen, I know the WWE did the tap out for LA Knight because they're trying to send a message that, oh, John Cena's going to lose. But not only is he going to lose, but he's going to tap out. So I get the story that they're doing, but to do it at the expense of LA Knight, to do it at the expense of a megastar, when the chips are down, this guy isn't tough enough. That's what you're looking like at LA Knight, because LA Knight tapping out, there's going to be no chance. There's going to be no more shot. Nobody is going to look at LA Knight as that credible superstar. You don't have your people's champion quit. You just don't do it. And by booking this finish, the WWE sent a clear message to the locker room and the fans. LA Knight is a tier below the elite. He is a tier below Gunther. He is not the guy. And for a guy who is fighting the age narrative every single day, that was the nail in the coffin tonight, in my estimation. And the tragedy isn't just that LA Knight lost. It's what we lost because he lost. We were one match away from LA Knight versus John Cena. Now, I'll admit at the same time that there could have been a hell of a lot better choices than LA Knight or Gunther. But if you're going to go all the way with this thing, you would have had to have it be LA Knight. And you know what? They could have built an arc out of this. They could have went into different situations. They could have went in different scenarios with this. LA Knight could have turned heel. LA Knight could have been the disrespectful bad guy. There's so many different ways it could have gone, but no, they go with Gunther. Because now the threat is real. Is Gunther going to make John Cena tap out? John Cena has only lost by tap out once in his career. I think it was all the way back when he was the Thugonomics, the rapper John Cena. So this current era John Cena from 2005 and on, he's never quit. He's never tapped out. And I don't think anybody remembers him tapping out to Kurt Angle all those years ago during the famed ruthless aggression era. So think about the story, guys. Think about the story. It would have wrote itself. John Cena, the ultimate company guy, the manufactured perfect PG-era superhero. LA Knight is the outsider, the guy who was ignored, the guy who was ignored for 20 years, the guy who got over in spite of the system, not because of it. Again, in spite of the system, not because of it. The promos alone would have been legendary between these two. You have Cena, the master of the fourth wall, telling Knight he's just a catchphrase. You have Knight telling Cena he's the reason guys like him were held down for a decade. It's the Attitude Era versus the PG Era. It was the perfect passing of the torch. Knight retiring Cena would have validated his entire career, and it would have been Cena saying, okay, you earned it. You're the man now. And then LA Knight finally could have went on to become the world heavyweight champion. Instead, we get Gunther. Look, Gunther's a great competitor. He is. He's incredible. But what is the story? I chop you hard. The mat is sacred. We've seen it. Gunther doesn't need the rub of retiring John Cena. Gunther is already made. He has already had an historic run as the Intercontinental Champion. He has been the world champion. Beating Cena is just another notch on his belt. And for LA Knight, it was destiny. And then the WWE threw it away on a random episode of SmackDown. You're going to read into the pattern of disrespect in a second, but because this isn't the first time they have done this to LA Knight. But first, I got to ask you guys, am I crazy? Am I being a mark? Or do you agree that Knight tapping out was a massive mistake? Huge mistake. Drop a comment down below with a yeah if you're with me, or nah if you think Gunther was the right choice and this was the right way to go about it. And while you're down there, hit that subscribe button, because we cover the news that the corporate sites are scared to touch. So SmackDown wasn't an accident, viewers. It was a pattern. It was a pattern. They bring him up as Maxine, as well, we got Maxine Dupree, but they bring him up as Max Dupree. They literally tried to hide his charisma behind a goofy manager gimmick. He overcomes it. The Bray Wyatt pitch black match. He was sent out there to be a sacrificial lamb for a Mountain Dew commercial. He overcame that. Money in the Bank 2023. The entire O2 Arena is chanting LA Knight's name. It's the loudest pop of the year. Who wins? Damian Priest. Money in the Bank 2024. Still hot. Still the top merchant seller. The top merch seller. Who wins? Not LA Knight. Do you get what's going on here? Do you see a pattern here? Every single time LA Knight gets to the edge of the mountaintop, WWE pulls the rug. They give him a U.S. title run to keep us quiet, sure. But when it comes to the Tier 1 moments, the WrestleMania main events, and the Cena retirement matches, the office always goes with their guys. You want to talk about a devastating blow to the WWE fans, to the WWE universe. They go with the guy that they've built in the PC, the Gunthers, the Braun Breakers, the Roman Reigns. LA Knight forced his way to the table, and they hate him for it. And tonight on SmackDown was them reminding him, you are not a guest at this table, not the owner. Excuse me, you are a guest. Again, too bad he wasn't, because then things would be a little bit different. But again, you are just a guest at the table, not the owner. So where do we go from here? Can LA Knight ever recover from this? Again, if it would have been a knockout, if it would have been a pass out, if it would have been referee decision, disqualification, I don't know, anything but a tap out. I mean, of all ways. You can only tell the fans no so many times. The optimist in me wants to say, can LA Knight survive, and where does he go from here? Can he recover? A big part of me wants to say yes, because he's resilient. He's the megastar. He can talk people into the building tomorrow. But the realist in me, I am actually very worried. You can only tell the fans no so many times before they stop asking. If you train the audience that LA Knight chokes in the big one, eventually they stop believing that he can win the big one, and eventually they stop going behind and chanting and rooting for him. Sooner or later, he's going to lose the fans. He's going to lose it all. It is a miscarriage of justice, guys. It is a miscarriage of justice. Now, if he comes out next week and says, let me talk to you, I'll get him next time, it's over. He needs to change. He needs to snap. Or maybe he needs to realize that the glass ceiling in WWE is beyond bulletproof glass. Him tapping out at Gunther feels like a reason finale where the hero dies. Fans are going to eventually stop believing that LA Knight can win the big one. WWE has a layup, a wide-open slam dunk layup to make a generational moment with John Cena and LA Knight, and they choose to dribble the ball off their feet. Gunther versus Cena will be a 5-star match. Dave Meltzer will love it. The purists will love it. But the hearts of the fans were with LA Knight. And in this business, when you ignore the heart, you lose the soul. Let me know your thoughts. Is the Yeah movement dead? I'm Sean. This has been The Breakdown. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell so you never miss a rant. And now, is this going to be the straw that broke the camel's back? Is this where LA Knight's going to say, all right, time after time after time after time, you put me in this position, you put me in this spot, I have earned it, I deserve it, and then you cut me off. You cut me right off, right at the neck. And now you make me tap out tonight. This is how Gunther gets into the match. I already knew Gunther was going to win, but I did not think they were going to go with the tap-out route. Yes, I'm still sick as a dog with COVID and the flu and everything else I got going on, but at what point does LA Knight say, I quit, I walk out, I'm done, I'm sick of the creative, I'm sick of the booking, I'm sick of the backstabbing, I'm sick of the manipulating, I'm sick of the lies, I'm sick of toying with me because you're toying with LA Knight. At what point does LA Knight say, I'm leaving, I'm going off? Maybe LA Knight, LA Knight would look good in the AEW World title. I'll be honest. LA Knight would look good in the AEW World title. He would look good in the TNA title, but he's already been there and he's already done that. He's already been there. He's already done that. And this is where we're at now, guys. This is where we are at with LA Knight in his career. Are we at a crossroads? Is LA Knight going to say, enough is enough? Just like the late, great Owen Hart used to always say, enough is enough. And it is time for a change. It is definitely time for a change in the career and in the lives of LA Knight. And what we saw tonight was absolutely disturbing, and it didn't have to go down the way that it did. And you know what? Again, you want to talk about the ultimate predictability. They could have made it a little bit more unpredictable. I know at one point they made it look like LA Knight was going to win, but as soon as he started targeting the neck and he started hurting the neck and he started having his hand on the neck, you already saw the writing on the wall. You already knew what was about to happen. And it happened. Again, the WWE comes up horrible when it should have mattered most. What a sick display of what should have been and what could have been an LA Knight. And instead they go with Gunther. You want to talk about ruffling the feathers. This right here could be the stake. This could be the people that say, we've seen enough. Maybe the people stop buying tickets. Maybe the people stop buying the ESPNs and the Netflix to watch WWE. Maybe the people stand up and say, we've seen enough. We've had enough. You didn't give us what we wanted. We're not going to give you what you wanted. Plenty more to come. Subscribe around the clock. I will never stop. Should LA Knight leave WWE? Oh, wait a minute. Quit WWE? Would LA Knight be justified to walk out of World Wrestling Entertainment? Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if they release him at this point, having him tap out like that tonight. And how is he going to respond? How is he going to react? What is next for LA Knight? The only way that I can see LA Knight recovering from this, the only way is if LA Knight can win the WWE Royal Rumble. That is literally and figuratively the only way LA Knight can come out of this looking good still. Because right now there's nothing good about LA Knight after how they did him dirty tonight. How the WWE booking, the creative, the powers that be. You can't keep a good man down. But again, there's only so much a man can take. So much a man can handle. So I'm going to tell you this. The Royal Rumble, that's it. That is the only saving face. That is the only saving grace for LA Knight right now. If LA Knight doesn't win the Royal Rumble, it is over. It is done. And LA Knight's going to send himself packing. You can see it and you can feel the animosity. You could see if this was the first time. But they have done this nonstop with LA Knight. And it's getting to a degree. It's sick. It's absolutely sick. It's repulsive. I can't even believe LA Knight has lasted this long with all the stop-and-go pushes that the WWE has put this guy through. There ain't anybody saying, yeah, tonight, subscribe.